This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. We're recording and whatnot. We're ready to go.
Say how the are
No,
you?
I'm not saying that. It's violent. That is. What a violent way to start the podcast. We've got to send the good vibes, you know?
We do.
Got to send our listeners light, love, positivity, you know?
Have we started already?
I don't know. Remix. Okay, yeah, you can just burp every time, you disgusting pig.
That
Honestly,
is violent.
That is violent. And you know what? It's a violent episode coming up for you, scrollers. So we've started, Chae. You're putting all of that in.
We haven't started, but we have. I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm all right, hey. And this is Hi Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
If it's trending, going viral, or has you gripped, we're talking about it.
Coming up on this episode, Brittney has been faced with her first ever influencer drama.
Yes, I share all the details and how I'm feeling about it. Plus, one of our favourite Aussie brands and icons has gone in a bit of a different direction and we're not sure how we feel about it.
But we love reading out some of the comments from people on Facebook. Make sure you stick around for that because that is hilarious. Plus, one of the biggest pop stars in the world has announced she's never going to tour again. This is not clickbait. I thought it might have been, but it's not. It's real, and we have some thoughts about that as well. It's a big episode for you, doll. It's a big show as always, so deal me in, doll. Let's go. Welcome back to the hottest podcast in the entire world. That's how I speak.
How are you on this gloomy Monday morning?
I'm feeling good. Raw dogging it. No pre-workout this week.
Oh.
Right, so don't know how many Follow the Yellow Brick Roads there'll be this week, but we're going to get into it. Are you going to mention Shaz on the pod?
It's been a couple of episodes.
I know.
And I haven't mentioned her
You've
at
been
all. I don't
strong.
think she's listening anymore anyway.
Oh,
I think
good.
she's a hater.
Okay. Yeah, that's nice. She always has been.
I can mention my nan though because I called her on the way here this morning.
Yeah.
Which was lovely. And Nan doesn't listen to our podcast. Shaz did try to teach Nan how to listen to it. So she downloaded Spotify and got it a try. But I think she tried listening and couldn't quite keep up with the conversation because, I don't know, it's just a bit new age for her. Anyway, this morning she just said, how's it going? And you're going down to do your podcast. And it's just so cute, like the fact that she has no idea what it is, right? So she sees all my stories because they're linked to my Facebook account.
Yes, so does my grandma.
Yep. So she's like, I seen your Facebook this morning. You made your passion fruit smoothie too thick because that's what I put on my story this morning. I'm like, yes, Nan. And she's like, you're going down to do the podcast. I only ever see the first little bit, but that's enough. She's like so happy with like the little thing that we put on our stories every week. And then I think she also sees like the reels that we post.
Yeah.
But she's like, I don't see the whole thing. And so how many other people is there that do this? And I'm like, podcasts? She's like, yeah. I'm like, Nan, there's thousands. She goes, oh. Like she just has no idea. I'm like, it's a really popular thing. And she goes, and how does it work? She was trying to understand like charts or ranking. Like she didn't understand it. So I was trying to tell her about that. And it's just so cute.
Which, by the way, I think it's so funny that we're ranked really high in the news category.
Yeah.
Like on, Spotify, I've checked the news one, and like sometimes we're at number 3 in the news, and I just think that's so funny to me.
We are giving people the information they need.
I know, but I feel like people are going to that news top charts and like, they click one podcast like to get actual news, you know what I mean? And like people are probably listening to one podcast and it's like the Foreign Affairs Minister met with the United States President and Anthony Albanese was doing, this, that and everything.
And then there's us.
And then they go, oh, no, I'll listen to the next one and it's High Scrollers and we're over here like...
Fabio getting whacked in the face with a fucking goose.
Face with a goose. We're on Omegle looking at dicks. We're following the Gadigal Road, like...
That's newsworthy.
Oh, we're talking about Sarah Lee cakes. We're talking about bloody everything. Like, this, I mean, it's newsworthy. It's our news, and that's what matters. Well, I've been struggling this week a little bit online because I've gone viral, which is like the end goal. Everyone thinks that's like the end goal, right? It's like, oh, you want to go viral. You want viral videos. You want your videos to get millions and millions of views, which is like, it's kind of catch-22. I've spoken about this before on my Instagram stories. Like, it's like, yeah, going viral is great, but it also opens you up to a whole new audience who have never seen you before, a whole new audience of haters, a whole new audience of troll comments. Like, I've fostered a really nice community. Like, my followers, we don't have anyone that like doesn't like me, to my knowledge. At least they're not telling me if that's the case. And so I really rarely get hate comments or troll comments unless someone who doesn't follow me stumbles across my videos, right? So most of the time I don't experience that because we have this really great community. But when a video goes viral, it's kind of like, oh, here we go. This is good, like loving it. But then also you open yourself up to all of those nasty comments and whatnot. And so that's happened. I made a video, which if you've seen this, scrollers, it's the one where I'm like clapping at the dinner table and it's like me at my best friend's wedding, even though I told her to break up with him 20 times.
Oh, yep.
So across like social media, that's got like 30 million views, maybe even more now. But the comments, harrowing.
On Instagram or TikTok?
Instagram, TikTok and Facebook. It's gone viral.
So you're getting bad comments everywhere?
Yeah, so it's triple whammy, viral on all three platforms. And the thing is, like, I just don't understand where we went wrong on the internet, where like everyone takes things so seriously. And I've actually been kind of hitting the a little bit with the viral vids recently. And I had another one that was about like the little, the little oil icon that comes up on your car. And it's like change your oil or check your oil.
Yeah.
So it looks like a genie bottle. So I made this video that was like, calling my dad when the genie bottle appears on my car. Like, again, the comments are if you don't know what this is, you shouldn't be driving.
Oh.
And it just opens your eyes up to how dumb people really are.
100%.
And Facebook's the only place I'll reply. Instagram has a new feature actually, which is just hide. You can just hide a comment. So they can comment and they think the comment's still there, but I've hidden it. So no one else can see it. So hate comments on Instagram, I'll usually just hide them.
Yeah.
Hate comments on TikTok, I'll delete. And Facebook, hate comments, I'll reply.
And your replies always get them the most love.
Yeah.
And you can just be a smart ass back, which I like.
I go, aren't you embarrassed to comment this? What are you doing with your life commenting on my reel on Facebook? With such an angry tone. Don't come at me with that. Fix your marriage, you know? I think it's also because people can just tell that I'm gay because I'm just so flamboyant in the videos and things like that.
That's why people come hate on you.
Yeah, because you have a lot of viral videos, all your warehouse videos, your warehouse tours and things like that. Like, are you getting much hate on those? Because I'm like, what is there to hate? I mean, you do act like a bit of a dickhead though.
Yeah, some people do say that I need to calm down.
Okay.
But it's like, it's an act. It's meant to be entertaining and grab your attention. Like, that's the whole strategy behind it.
Yeah.
Speaking of warehouse videos, actually, I've been involved in my first ever influencer drama, Matt.
First ever?
In my whole life.
I don't know. I think there's been a couple others, surely.
Like what?
I guess this one's been public though, hasn't it?
Yeah. My phone was blowing up the other day.
Yeah.
Of hundreds of people tagging me. Another influencer has taken inspiration from...
Oh.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I sent this to you.
Oh, you did?
I was one of the 100 blowing up your phone. I've gone, girl, have a look at this. Yeah, right. So are we saying who it is and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Sofa Dofa. So she's got a new brand.
Yes.
Don't know what it's called, but she's got a warehouse before the brand's even launched, which I
is
find...
bold.
It's bold, right? Yeah. Like, I'm just like, all right, like, great. And I'm sure it's going to do well, but like a whole
absolutely.
warehouse,
I feel
wow.
like because she's launching a brand into an already existing audience, she knows it's going to do well.
Yeah.
But my one thought on that is I hope that this is what she wants to do long term because let's be real, leases are long.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, it's good to get a warehouse before and know that it's going to do well. How long are you going to want to run this brand? Because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, the drama. It's not drama at all, but my comments were absolutely blowing up. You were messaging me. Everyone was messaging me because I have this very particular style of the way that I make my videos where I'm on roller skates or on a scooter and I'm like kind of speaking in a sarcastic tone in my videos. She's taken inspiration, obviously, and made a video that's essentially exactly the same way that I make my videos. And the comments are just filled with, this is fate. This is Brittney. Like, you can go and check it out. It's on her brand's TikTok account. And her video blew up. And I'm not mad at all because this was great exposure for me and my business to anyone new who was discovering me through her video. And someone commented like, Brittney has worked way too long and hard to deserve this. Like to have someone just come and copy. And you know what? Like I don't see it as a bad thing at all. I think what an honor to inspire someone else so much to the point where they just straight up are almost replicating the same way that I do my videos. And what, you know, a compliment to my business and brand that we can be recognized through someone else's video without them even mentioning us at all. So, you know, I just left a nice little comment. You know what I mean? Like she is scooting through her warehouse with the microphone, speaking in the same sort of way I do, and people can recognize me and Fate through that.
Yeah.
She doesn't even have to mention us or anything. And people go, this is Fate. Like what a testament to us as a business. And I just think it's a massive compliment. I don't see it as a bad thing at all. And even though everyone in the comment was up in arms, just going, nah, this is not right. Do your own style of content. I left a nice little comment. Welcome to the biggest journey of your life. Love the content style or something cheeky like that.
You have such a good outlook. Like to come up with that. I don't know what the word is there, but like whatever you just said, that's why I had such a confused look on my face because I was like, how does this bitch's brain work?
I feel like if I was 20 years old, I would not have that outlook.
Yeah,
I think
okay,
definitely. True. Being 30 and being in business for a long time now, I definitely have a different way of looking at everything in life. Like I take nothing personally. And I think it's just a massive compliment.
Stronger than me, I would have sent a cease and desist.
Oh!
Play the fanfare, get the court jester out, love. It's our royal flush of the week. The best thing we've seen on the internet this week. And I'm kicking us off first because mine's kind of weird. But I want to say the Christmas season is well and truly upon us, isn't it?
Are you in the Christmas spirit?
Oh, I'll get to that in a second because something else has just gotten to my mind. Sorry. But remember last week my royal flush was Jim K Lives.
Yeah.
He was talking about us on the live stream.
Was he?
And also his daughter put on her story listening to the podcast and it's her dad. And you said,
whose dad is this?
And she goes, that's my dad.
Oh my God, that's iconic.
So fun. Anyway, shout out to Jim K Lives again. Also, I said he had 1,000 followers. That's only his live account. I've since discovered he also has another account with like 25K.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, much bigger deal than I thought. Good on you, Jim. Anyway, Christmas spirit. You asked, am I in the Christmas spirit?
Yeah, are you a Christmas person?
I am such a Christmas person, but I will admit the last few years my Christmas spirit has been depleted. Last year, Skylar and I didn't even put up a Christmas tree because we just couldn't be bothered.
Oh, I saw that you were just going to buy a Christmas tree the other day.
Yep, and we did it all last night. And
it's
very
cute.
camp. So like last week, I think like Thursday or maybe Tuesday night, I was not in any Christmas spirit. I was like, I cannot do Christmas this year. I don't want to do it. I was sitting on the lounge. I don't know what came over me, but boom, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I went, it's Christmas! And I was like, I need a tree. I need a design. I need decorations for the house. I need tinsel. I need lights. I need everything. I need to do all my Christmas shopping now. I've already half completed it. It's not even December yet. I don't know what came over me, but a rush of Christmas came over me. And I was like, oh, I'm in the Christmas spirit. Let's do it. We decorated the tree. I've been teasing it on my Instagram just because that's camp, but we went with a disco ball theme after Disco Heaven by Lady Gaga.
Everyone's getting more and more creative with their Christmas trees, I feel.
Yeah, and it's really camp. It's like tacky but camp. Like it's like tacky but camp.
Nice.
You know what I mean? I love Christmas. You're obviously the biggest Christmas person. You love a Christmas beer pong.
Oh. How do you know that?
How do you know that? Because every bloody Christmas day, after I've had a full meal, I've had 6 helpings, I've had 12 plum puddings, I sit on the lounge and what's on Instagram? Brittney playing beer pong tournament with the family.
Yeah, I love Christmas, although I will say I've never decorated my house for Christmas. But I've said hopefully by next Christmas our house will be fully renovated and then next year I want to decorate the inside.
So you've never done a Christmas tree?
I had a really shitty one year that had like 3 stalks coming off it. Like, you know, those really thin ones and you can like see the center pole.
Yeah, $5 from Kmart.
Yeah, and it was like white, literally from Kmart. But no, I've never decorated. But next year, if our house is done, I'm going to get a tree.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a really good one so that we can keep it forever.
Like Balsam Hill, is that what they call the real fancy ones? Is it Balsam Hill?
Isn't there some that are like thousands of dollars?
Yeah.
But look, you got to look at the cost per use. If you keep it forever, a bit of girl math, It's pretty cheap if you keep it for like 20 years.
I guess so, but it also sits in a cupboard for 12 months
I know,
a year.
it really is.
But also, I think like the other thing as well is obviously it's still November and I've put the tree up. Now, when I was younger, my mum had a superstition that was you can't put your tree up till the 1st of December because it's bad luck. And then you have to take your tree down by the 1st of January. So before New Year's Eve. Otherwise, you're taking last year into the new year and the vibes are off and blah, blah, blah. Hello, this is the woman that pushed me out so that I could be a Libra. Clearly, she had some superstitions there, Jill. And that was what I've always kind of like upheld in my life. Now, I think life, first of all, is going so fast.
I know.
That 1 month of a Christmas tree is not long enough. And 2, this year has been such a roller coaster, bin fire, tragic, trauma-filled, wild mouse at Luna Park that I was like, stuff it. We're putting the tree up and we're calling it a year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm ready for it to be December, so we may as well cosplay December in November.
I'm all for it, I think.
Anyway.
I even love hearing the Christmas carols when I was at Westfield the other day. I was like, I like this.
Harrowing. Sometimes they get a little, like, I'm like, update them. Give us the Glee version, you know? Anyway, my royal flush of the week, all of that to say that my royal flush is all of the Christmas food trends that I've been seeing this week across the internet. Specifically, randomly, I see them on Facebook Reels, which is probably because like maybe that's a bit of an older demographic and that's like who's cooking. But I'm like, no, stuff it. Or maybe I'm just in that demographic now. I still think I'm 21. Like, you know what I mean?
Too. You want to know something funny actually on that and about Christmas food? I'll tell you something, like I'll expose myself here.
Oh gosh, here we go.
So one of my favourite things about Christmas is the prawns and the ham.
Yeah.
Just eating sliced ham for like 4 days after Christmas. You're like hungry, go to the fridge, slab of ham, just chuck it down. I don't know how many years ago it was, like maybe 5 years ago or something, maybe let's say 10 to make me sound a little bit better. I thought that Christmas ham and prawns only were available to purchase at Christmas time. I thought Christmas ham was a specific type of ham.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you could just go and buy that any time of the year. Same for prawns. And I hate to admit that, but I'm admitting it right now. Christmas ham can be purchased all year round.
Yeah, okay. You heard it here first. Thank God we're a news podcast.
Sure, like you knew that already, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I thought, I don't know, growing up, that Christmas ham, like the pigs only came out at a certain time.
Pigs only came out.
Yeah, like they were available.
I'm gay. I definitely knew that, but also I get why you thought that because here, like, we don't bring out those things
like
except
we would
for
never.
at Christmas.
I've only ever grown up eating, like, prawns are one of my favourite foods ever.
Really?
Yeah. You judging me over there.
Okay.
I
Me saying that
love
through
prawns. Give me 2
teeth.
kilos and I'll eat the whole thing.
Oh my God.
We only ever had them.
I can't get past the poo string.
See, I eat the poo string. It's got flavour.
Sorry. That's going viral.
Who can be bothered to scrape it out? You don't even notice it's in there.
Oh, I'm one of those people who passes the prawns to my dad and says, Dad, go for your life.
I
and then
do
he
hate peeling
hands
them. Like,
back.
what an effort. But anyway, I've only ever eaten prawns at Christmas. Therefore, I thought they only were available to buy at Christmas. But turns out you can go to the Fisherman's Co-op and get them whenever you want.
Should we go? We literally record next to Sydney Fish Market.
Yes,
Should we go
please.
after
I
this?
would love that.
Anyway, the royal flash of the week.
Yeah, getting onto that.
Is all of the food trends I'm seeing. I've got 2 specifically for you. They are a bit visual, so it might be a bit hard to describe this. You can always just Google this and I'm sure something will come up. The first one that I'm loving, which I will definitely be making this Christmas, is puff pastry Christmas trees. Now, stick with me here. You get the sheet of puff pastry, 2 sheets. You put a filling inside. So this video was ham and cheese and then did like a butter garlic kind of, glaze. You could do Vegemite and cheese. You could do like a pesto. But anyway, you cut the puff pastry really thinly in a long line and then you kind of like squiggle it into the shape of a Christmas tree, stick a skewer through it, bake it in the oven, put a nice glaze on it. You could also do Nutella, like dessert flavour one with icing sugar. Yum. So 10 minutes in the oven, it comes out looking beautiful. this is one of those things that I saw on the internet. I know, I love my food, but there's not many things that make me go, I need that right now. And this puff pastry Christmas tree was one of those. The second one that I've got for you is a cream cheese Christmas tree, which I have seen in previous years, but haven't been in the Christmas spirit enough to make it. This year, I'm like, there's going to be a cream cheese Christmas tree on my charcuterie board.
You're going to have to make a video of you making these.
Enjoy. Yeah, I might. Basically, you just get the cream cheese, lump it into a Christmas tree shape, and then roll it in, green shit and put a star cheese on top. And you've got a little mini Christmas tree.
Nice.
I know, it's quite visual, so hopefully the scrollers can understand what the hell's going on
I'm
here.
just picturing a blob of cream cheese rolled in green.
I'm sure if you just Google cream cheese Christmas tree,
All right, I'll have to
will
look it
come
up.
up and you will
get it.
Be amazed.
I might have to make one of those with prawns sticking out of it.
And then try and do
with poo strings hanging out.
As tinsel, the poo strings of the tinsel. So that's my royal flush of the week, and I will be making them all Christmas season. What's yours?
I had a couple little royal flushes, but because we're on the theme of Christmas, we're really getting into the Christmas spirit early, aren't we?
I know, deal with it.
Sorry if anyone out there hates Christmas. AJ pretends that he hates Christmas. He says, he's like, I'm the Grinch.
I don't know. See, here we go. Bar humbug. Let's talk about this. I don't think I like people that don't like Christmas.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't like your birthday, if you don't like Halloween, if you don't like Easter, if you don't like New Year's, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You are entitled to your opinion.
Yeah.
If you don't like Christmas, grow up for starters and get a life. Because I can't imagine not liking Christmas. I can imagine not getting into the Christmas spirit because I haven't in previous years. That lost me after the pandemic. I think it was just too much and I was like, can't be bothered. But just hating Christmas altogether, get checked, honestly. Go see a doctor because it's all wrong.
So I've made a little discovery. I feel like my royal flushes lately have just been all discoveries about songs. I've got another one for you. You know the song Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is singing that song?
No.
Do you know how old that person is?
Probably really old.
Like how old?
95.
That person is 13.
No.
It's a 13-year-old girl.
No.
And it was recorded.
Well, you set me up with that because the way you asked the question begged the answer that they were really old.
Her name is Brenda Lee. And she's
Brenda Lee, I know her.
It was in 1958 and she's 13 years old singing that song. And how deep and mature is her voice?
Brenda Lee, is she still alive? Yeah.
She's 78 now. She's 13 singing that song.
She's done a recent, what do you call it when you re-record it? But
But she's that young in that clip.
She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Love her. Well, that's a great discovery.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's thrilled. Thank God. Once again, we are in the news category. So we hope that's news to you. Let's get on to more news.
With Maddie and Brito.
I don't have time to rebrand. Sorry.
Sticking with the news theme, Matt, in business news this week, gyms. You know Jim's franchises, most famously known for Jim's Mowing.
Oh, yes.
I feel like my whole childhood was just driving around the streets and seeing those parked outside people's houses and then doing the mowing and landscaping.
Which I didn't realise it's not just one man named Jim.
No.
He's built an empire.
You can become a Jim's landscaper.
Jim's Mowing, yes.
So it's a franchise business model.
But when I was a kid,
to
you thinking prawns were only Christmas time,
yes,
I thought it was all the same guy and I thought, fuck, he's busy.
He's one busy bloke. It's come out in the news this week that he's, again, gone into another venture of Jim's. Now, he is not only known for his landscaping and lawn mowing, he's also got cleaning, Jim's painting, dog wash, Jim's pool care, Jim's pest control. He's going into every avenue that there possibly is. And just when you think that he'd done it all, he's gone and released something new, Jim's Beauty.
Jim's Beauty. What is on offer with Jim? Obviously, I'm thinking eyebrows,
so
facials.
This new venture of Jim's will allow customers to book facials, nails, spray tans, teeth whitening, bridal packages and more. And so you can become a Jim's Beauty franchisee and you can operate it.
I'm so sorry.
You can operate it from your home.
I'm so sorry. Can you imagine it being your wedding day?
And
you've gone, I've got Jim's Beauty on the way, girls. Pop the fucking champagne. Jim's about to be. And also with a name like Jim's Beauty, I know that you can be a franchisee, so like anyone showing up. But if a man that looked like Jim showed up with his, callus-filled hands to do my eyebrows, I'd be asking for a refund before the things even started. Like, sorry.
Well, speaking of that, I saw some comments on social media.
Yeah.
And people felt the same way kind of as you do right now. So some people have been saying, I don't need Jim to trim my bush. The name just doesn't quite have the right ring to it. And all I can picture is a bloke at the door in khakis with a beauty case and whippersnipper. Nah, thanks.
Yes, that's what I'm getting. He's taking a whippersnipper to your eyebrows.
So which do you call to get the bushes done?
Oh, my gosh.
That's great. They can still use their mowers and hedge trimmers for bikini lines.
Surely not.
So it's a very interesting avenue for him to take, but he must be onto something because...
Well, I'm going to do a quick Google here. I'm getting the laptop out because I want to know how much the gyms group is worth.
Apparently, there is 5,000 franchisees of gyms across Australia, New Zealand, Canada and the UK. So 5,000 people are running their own gyms franchise. And I believe the beauty one is only available in select areas. So it's not like Australia-wide.
Okay, you're going to love this because it's like a random success story. I've just Googled the gyms group net worth. The business started with a $24 investment and is now...
Like
well, I'm
him?
guessing Jim. I'm guessing Jim had $24 to his name.
Wow.
He thought, all I've got is me,
$24
these hands, and a whippersnipper. Let's get to it, Susie.
It's iconic,
And
really.
$24 they had apparently. Well, I don't know what. It just says a $24 investment. I'm just making that up. But they now have an annual turnover of around $500 million a year.
That's insane.
Well, I'm sorry, Jim. Jim can come and do my makeup for my wedding day any day, doll, because $500 million, must be bloody good.
People can either operate it mobile, so you can own a Jim's Beauty franchise and go to people's houses.
Mhm.
You can operate it from your home,
Mhm.
so you can have a Jim's Beauty franchise like in the front room of your house or whatever, or you can set it up in a proper salon. The thing where I think this isn't going to translate well is just, again, going back to the name.
Mhm.
Like imagine if you're driving down the street and you see all the businesses and then there's a Jim's Beauty with Jim's face.
Mm.
Like I don't understand in the beauty world how that's going to work. They're going to have to make it like a beautiful image.
I wonder if there's going to be a point of difference, though. Like it's going to be cheaper or it's going to
It
be...
has to be. And I just wish I could be a fly on the wall in them making this decision and like them maybe noticing a gap in the market or whatever, because it's like the big market with already so many amazing beauty businesses, big and small. So like where is Jim's Beauty going to fit in? Surely it's going to have to be the price point that makes him the most competitive.
My mind also goes like, is this just one big publicity stunt?
It very well could be, because here we are talking about on this very popular
Yeah.
news show.
Yeah. I mean, it's made headline news as far as I'm concerned.
On the high scrollers.
But I mean,
news
really, like
podcast.
maybe it's just one of those things to be like, get gyms back in the news. Maybe they only made $499 million this year.
They
And
need
so
to make one more.
They thought, wow, we need to up our game with this.
Would you try it, Matt, like as an experiment for the podcast?
You know what?
Because it's news. You need to report.
Maybe we could. Maybe we could.
I feel like we need to.
Remember that phase where everyone went through like, I'm a spray tanner, come get one for $15?
That was me.
Yeah, I know.
I did that under my house in a little dungeon under my rental, because Fate, believe it or not, was not my first business venture. I've done many. One of them was Beauty and Spray Tans by Brittney. $40 for a full face of makeup, including lashes,
Oi.
and $15 for a professional spray tan. I got the whole kit. I got the spray tan machine, the tent, the little sticky feet thing that you put on, the G-strings, the head caps. I went and bought it all from my local beauty supplier. This was when I was around 20. And I was living in a rental house at the time that had like this little den under it. You know those houses that have like a brick dusty room under the back of the house because it's on a sloping block?
Yeah.
So I cleaned it out and I made it pretty. I had a shit old dining room table in there. Went to Spotlight and got a piece of decorated fabric and laid it over as a little table. Set it up, $15. Used my Facebook account to promote it to people in Newcastle. $15 spray tans. I was losing money. Charging that. But I thought if I make $15, I've made $15. I'd buy the big bottles of professional spray tan.
How much were they? Do you remember?
Maybe like $40 or $50 or maybe a bit more back then.
How were you losing money on $15?
By the time you freaking did all that and did the admin and booked them in and they'd come and make $15, like it wasn't worth it. And then I would go to people's houses as well and charge $20. So it was only $5 more for me to drive 20 minutes to your house. I'd spend more on bloody petrol. And then I would do makeup as well, $40 for a full face.
That's good. That's cheap as chips, love.
That was before I learned that you actually have to like work out how to price yourself based off what it costs.
Right.
I just thought if I was making money, I was making money. It doesn't matter about what all the materials cost.
You're using one shade for every customer.
Probably.
It's just your foundation
It
that
was
you just pack in
tragic.
your bag.
It was tragic.
Oh my goodness, how funny. Well, you know what I saw on the internet this week? Miley Cyrus, one of my faves, has come out and said that she's actually never going to tour again.
Interesting.
Which is heartbreaking for me because I love Miley. I went to her Bangers tour, which was in 2014, which is the last tour that she actually did. And
but she's been performing a lot since then,
she's
right?
been
But not
performing.
like tours.
Yeah, but she does little like backyard sessions or smaller venues and things like that. And I looked into this because I was like, this can't be right. Surely this is a clickbait headline. Like she said it as a joke or something, you know what I mean? But no, fully true. She says that it doesn't fulfill her and she finds it weird. And she says it's not natural that you go from being in front of 100,000 people to then just being by yourself. And she finds that really isolating and really just strange, that concept. And she also suffers from chronic pain and inflammation, which makes it hard to commit to a traditional pop star schedule, which I didn't realise that she suffered from chronic pain and inflammation. So that's news to me. There you go, more news this episode. A very newsworthy episode today. Devastating, but also love that she's putting herself first. But I was really, first of all, interested about this because I was like, for me personally, like I'm like, imagine how much money you'd make if 100,000 people came to your show. I'm doing the maths right now, actually. 100,000. What do you reckon an average ticket price is? About
200 and something each.
All right, we'll do 275. 275, but then I think her stadiums are like not 100,000, are they? They're like 80,000. We'll do 80,000. We'll just average it out, you know? Right, that's 22 million.
For one.
Then if we're doing 40 shows across the world, that's $880 million.
And then merchandise.
Yeah.
That
and
is
everything else, all your streaming from your songs and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, so money talks, really. And I'm like, I think that's kind of freaking big for her to be like, nah, can't do it, just not me, not what I want to do.
I think that's amazing though.
I think it's amazing as well, but I'm just saying, like, if I was Miley Cyrus, I'd be popping a couple painkillers and shaking my ass on stage for $880 million, okay? That's just what I got from this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, last week we were thinking about doing a High Scrollers live tour. I'm thinking that might be a bit too much for us, maybe. If Miley Cyrus can't do it, surely we can't.
It's a lot, I feel. Like I can understand. I mean, it just depends on the person as well. But I can only imagine that like being on stage, being on the go 24/7, not being in your own environment, not being in the comfort of your own home, being on the road, like it would take a toll on most people. There might be some people that can tour their whole life, but I reckon you do one show and feel cooked.
You do one show and feel cooked.
Yeah.
I've done my own shows which have sold to like 300 people in the room. I can't imagine 100,000 people in the room.
And then just the pressure of them being a celebrity and the kind of life they live anyway, which makes you feel like an alien and isolated.
Yeah.
It would mentally be really tough.
You know how there's that like common social conversation around like a lot of actors or performers like end up doing drugs because they miss the like adrenaline from being on stage. So I always have been of like the opinion, how hard is it not to just, you know, do drugs? Like just don't do it. And after some of my live shows, I've sat there and craved that adrenaline and felt what they felt. And I've gone, wow, now I get it. And thankfully my drug is food. So I just order $100 on Uber Eats and have a fucking feast in the hotel room. But like, that is such a real feeling of like getting off stage, starting to kind of come down from the adrenaline of being on stage and then being like, right, what are we doing, boys? We're going out. What are we doing? But for me, it was just go back and order literally like a family dinner box on Uber Eats and just eat the whole thing. So that was stunning.
The hard thing as well is I think if you toured enough, that what was once so exciting and this thing that you loved, you would eventually not get the adrenaline anymore. And I think that's where it would be really hard as well. Like I'm sure the first few shows or whatever, it'll be like electrifying. But then if you're doing it, like you'd feel like a show horse or whatever it is. Like you're just being pushed out on the stage and doing your thing. Even though that's your profession and you do what you love, after a while, it would become nothing.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit what I felt being an influencer for so long.
Really?
Remember when I was having those conversations with you about wanting to like give up like influencing, and like I felt the same with YouTube, and then I felt the same with brand deals. It's like this one thing that was always so exciting to me, I then like lost the love for it and the passion. So I think like no matter what industry you're in, that can happen. Even if you're doing the most amazing job in the world that people would dream of doing, like everything does come to an end at some point.
Yeah.
And people can either keep like pushing on and keep doing it, but then I guess the other part is like, is the money really worth it?
I think $880 million is to me. Like, I think even if I felt like a show horse, I'd probably get up out on that stage.
Yeah, I feel you.
For the $880 million. But fully get like, obviously like Miley, I'm on board. I want to make that clear. Like I'm on board with her decision to put herself first. Like I totally get that. And obviously she has chronic pain. I'm not trying to diminish that. Like obviously if it's too much for you, do what's right for you first and foremost. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'd take the money.
Take the money and run.
And sing my little ass out. Have you ever done live shows? Like I feel like you haven't.
I've never really done live shows. Like I went on the Life Uncut one as guest.
Yeah.
But I've never done a live show.
But what did you host at like a Westfield or something? You did
I've done like meet and greets.
Yeah.
Back in the day, which again, I could never do again.
Really?
See, and I did a handful of those over the years, and it's really thrilling at the start. But again, like that was nowhere near the size of a Miley Cyrus concert. Like at most, it'd be 1,000 people at a meet and greet.
Yeah.
And even at the end of those, like you kind of feel like shit.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like a weird thing to do as a human, really, when you think about it. Like getting up on front of a stage and then spending the next 5 hours meeting people and having quick 2-minute conversations over and over again. Like it makes you feel like not normal.
I don't know. That's like my favourite part. I love a meet and greet. I love meeting everyone.
Oh,
I love
so do
having
I.
a chat.
But I love now meeting people and having more meaningful conversations. Whereas back then it was like, oh my God, I love your videos. Bye. Like, you know, quick, let's get a photo. Bye. Whereas now, like, I'll open a new Fate store and obviously everyone still knows me and I'm meeting them, but it has more meaning to it, I guess.
Yeah.
They're coming in to shop and they're like my brand. So there's more meaning behind that.
Yeah.
Whereas when it was like, I love your videos, bye. Like it just felt so transactional. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I was doing too many meetups.
You really were. There was a whole phase back then in our YouTube days where we would organise even like the YouTuber meetups.
Yes.
Where it'd be like 20 of us meeting up in a park.
That was my first, we were talking earlier about your influencer drama. That was my first influencer drama way back when
What happened?
I first started, because I hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Which was a big deal back then.
Right.
Yes.
So these days you got 10,000 subscribers. Like that's
Nothing.
hardly anything, love. But back in the day, 10,000 subscribers was insane to have on YouTube. So I decided to do this like Hyde Park, Sydney YouTube meetup. But I was like, oh, you know, I made a little poster and I was like, Sydney YouTube meetup. And then I was like, YouTube might not let me use it, you know, copyright, trademark. So I'll say YouTubers.
Mm-hmm.
Australian YouTubers meetup. Anyway, I posted that was happening, and then there was this Facebook group called Australian YouTubers who then contacted me and were like, how dare you do this event with our name on it and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, here we go. Like
And
my
by the way,
first little fun thing.
This group is not run by YouTube. It's just a bunch of YouTubers.
It's just a bunch of Australian YouTubers. Anyway, they were just basically, it was a big peacocking situation. And I've just learnt that term, by the way. Peacocking. Didn't know what. Peacocking is when you just like show off. Like you might see a guy on the beach peacocking. It's him only in Speedos or something, walking up with his muscles, walking up and down the beach, just being a peacock, showing off. And anyway, they had a problem with me hosting my own meetup, which was just like, to my subscribers, come and hang out with me in Hyde Park for a little bit. It became this huge thing because I had a couple of friends on the lineup as well. There were a couple of people, because I thought, what if I do this and 2 people show up or no one shows up? I've never done this before. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I might get a couple of other people on board. So I got a couple of other people on board, and it was going to be like the 5 of us or something. And so that's why I called it Australian YouTubers. Anyway, after all the drama came out and they had such an issue with me calling it Australian YouTubers, I then had to negotiate with these people, which looking back now, I'm like, why did I do this? Like, I was talking to a Facebook profile, but, there was no official cease and desist or anything, but we negotiated to then combine, and they were allowed to come on board with the meetup as well. Anyway, long story short, then they tried to take over and they were like, oh, we need a permit and we need all this. And I was like, no, let's just
a bunch of people meeting up in a park.
Anyway, we had it. After all the drama, it was such a success. There were hundreds of people in Hyde Park, and not to toot my own horn, but mainly to see me. So I was kind of like, well, look at me. I could do, sorry, I know what I'm doing over here. Since then, done meet and greets bloody everywhere. I'll do a meet and greet at the drop of a hat. Like, I'll be in Coles. Someone will go, oh, hey, love your TikToks. I go, line up, everyone, line up. Meet and greet time. Take a photo in front of the fruit and veg, like, let's go. I love a meet and greet. I just love talking to people,
I actually called someone. Oh, I had to call National Tiles. I had to call National Tiles on the way here because that's where I bought the floor tiles for my bathroom. A girl answered the phone and then she's like, what's your name? And then she's like, is this like the Brittney Saunders? And I'm like, yeah, how's it going? So we had a meet and greet on the phone. So shout out to that.
Can we do a FaceTime so I can take a photo?
And she had to call me back. And it's just so funny knowing that I'm speaking to this girl on the phone and she fully knows who I am. So shout out to that girl.
I love it. You've always done the weirdest meet and greets though.
I have.
No shade to Madame Tussauds. We love them.
Yes.
I love a wax museum.
But I did a meet and greet
at Madame meet and greet
because they had a new Miranda Kerr and like fashion set up there, like all the new figures. And so I was there doing a meet and greet at Madame Tussauds to promote the new fashion, whatever it was. And it was like on a Tuesday in the middle of the day.
That's right. And I remember still hundreds of people showed up. Like so many people.
But I remember thinking like no one's going to come. Everyone's going to be at work or school or whatever. That was a really random one. Another really random one that I did was with Vodafone. And that's when I was with my ex-partner. Ooh, I don't even want to say ex-partner. I'm going to say ex-boy. And I did a meet and greet in, is it Queen Street Mall in Brisbane? And then in Melbourne, is it Federation Square?
I've got no idea. You're just throwing out names, but I'm just saying, Yep,
that's the right place. And we just did like a pop-up meet and greet for Vodafone in like the middle of those malls in Melbourne and Queensland, and he was there and everyone loved him so much, and it was again like a huge line and everyone just meeting us both. And that's just so cringe to think about. And you know what? Sometimes I meet people now like out and about or at one of my stores and they will pull up photos of me and them from that Vodafone meet and greet and be like, look, and I'm like, no, scarred for life that the fact that I ever fucking did that.
What was the BB Rexa thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was trying to think about, the Westfield one earlier.
Yes. Well, that wasn't a meet and greet. That was just another really random job that I got once. Yeah, so BB Rexa, I'm sure most of you know her, but I feel like a lot of people know BB Rexa songs but then don't know her.
Yeah.
She sings like, I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling. You'll know heaps of her songs. A few years back, maybe 5 years ago, she was coming to Westfield Parramatta to do a performance, like in that open hexagon area in, where it's like got all the levels and you can look down. She was doing a performance there, Westfield Parramatta, BB Rexa. And I was the MC for some reason. Just me by myself. I was like, bye, AJ. I'm going to do this weird fucking random thing at Westfield Parramatta. Drove down there. Never MC'd in my life, mind you. And I'm there trying to hype up this crowd of like 50 people. Like it was small. Because this was years ago. I feel like this is when Beattie Rexha was, building up her music career. Yeah. So I'm up there like, who's excited to see Beattie Rexha? And the crowd's like, mind you, she's amazing.
I know, I love her. She's like my Rita Ora. I feel like people feel the same way about Rita Ora. Like, Rita Ora's famous, but could you name a Rita Ora song? Do you know what I mean? Like, I love her, and I remember I won tickets to Future Music Festival.
Oh my God, what a throwback.
Because it was actually with Nova, I'm pretty sure. Oh. They were giving away like a double pass, and it was like when you hear the Rita Ora song, you got a call and we'll give you a free double VIP pass to Future Music Festival. So I was waiting by that phone all bloody day. And that is the day that I learned in radio that if they're going to play a song, it's probably going to be later in the day, not straight away in the morning. Because I was there for about 6 hours listening to that radio station going, where is Rita Ora? Anyway, song plays. Within the first note of the song, I knew it was her, and I hit dial and I went, I'm ready. Anyway, this lady jumped on and she's like, who have I got? I'm like, she goes, yeah, we're not on the air yet. Just hold your horses. I'll get you on in a second. And I was like, okay. And then I just went real quiet. And then she was like, then I could hear that we'd come out of a song and I was on the air. And she was like, oh, I've got Matt on the line. Matt, are you excited? Me? I love her so much. Like, please tell me I've won. She hasn't told me I've won yet. Like, I'm just going crazy though. I don't know what came over me.
Fangirl.
Because I was like so calm. I think it was the adrenaline of like waiting all day to hear the song. I just let everything out. And also I lived in this area at the time with really dodgy Wi-Fi. So I was like, we've got to get this conversation done, babes, because I need those tickets and I don't have much reception.
I'll tell you what I have to say though about radio stations.
Oh, here we
Chae.
go.
I need your input on this, Chae. When someone calls into a radio station and they're live on the air, call up and win a competition or whatever, why is the phone audio so bad?
What do you mean bad?
Like it still sounds like with how good phones and technology are, why is it still so fuzzy?
There's a few different ones. Sometimes it depends on the person who they're with. If they're
right.
I also feel like it's like if you're an old car with no Bluetooth, that's going to sound different
to like bad quality.
Also, speaking of radio stations, I just have to let everybody know that Chrissy Marsh from The Real Housewives of Sydney just walked past our studio because we obviously record this in the Nova studios. Chrissy Marsh, she's on Real Housewives of Sydney. She's an icon. She's a legend. Fangirl? And I actually don't know what you two just spoke about because my balls just dropped out of my ass and hit the floor when Chrissy Marsh.
I saw her. She looked very glamorous walking by.
She is stunning, fabulous.
Why don't you go in there and just do a scream?
I can't.
Go in there and go.
Don't. And I've
like you did to Rita Ora.
Go get a photo, thanks, bye. Have me on meet and greet with Chrissy Marsh. Anyway, the point of the fact of the matter is I won the tickets, everyone, and I went to VIP Future Music Festival, whatever it was called. My friend Ashley. And we had a grand old time in the VIP section, but what was so funny is all our other friends just bought general admission tickets. So we were in VIP going, hello! And I saw Rita Ora there, and I loved every second of it. I also saw Azalea Banks there, and she threw a shoe at the audience, so that was interesting.
We're almost at the end of the episode, but a couple of episodes ago, we told everyone that we have a High Scrollers email address, which if you want to know it, it's scrollers@novapodcasts.com.au. And we have an email to share with you all from Adele. Like the Adele. Yes.
Oh,
the
God.
Adele has sent us an email.
I'm nervous. What did I say about her on the podcast? Cease and desist.
Do you want me to read it out for you?
Yeah.
So the Adele has said, hi, Scrollers. Not sure why I am emailing you this, but I consider you both my podcast friends, so I wanted to share and ask. My partner put a video of me playing with our dog on his stories the other night. When I saw it, I instantly gave myself the ick, like a very big ick. I'm not sure if you can relate, but the way I speak to my dog is very weird. I have a fairly distinct dog voice. I'm certain I've been giving my partner the ick with his voice the entire time we've owned the dog. To make myself feel better, I was wondering, what do you do that you think gives your partners the ick? I love the pod and never miss an episode. Adele. First of all, thank you, Adele, like the Adele, for listening and sending us an email.
Honestly.
Secondly, I have to say, you're not alone, Adele, because I have a dog voice. My partner AJ has a dog voice, and I think everyone has the dog voice.
Can you please do the dog voice? Because I've got a dog voice too.
Okay. I always go like, sneaky and peeny, sneaky and peeny.
My dog voice is, little baby.
Yeah.
Baby.
And AJ does it
Good little boy, Annie. That's my dog voice.
AJ does it too, and it kind of gives me the ick as well. So you're not alone, but everyone does it.
I hope we
And
just gave you the ick scrollers with our dog voices.
I
Chae,
give
how are you feeling after our dog voices?
Oh, I feel gross.
Yeah.
Vomit everywhere.
Little baby.
And the names that you make up for your dogs like, that aren't their names.
Yes.
But if you had anything else, Matt, that you think that you do that gives Skylar the ick, do you have any?
Oh, fucking everything. Like, we are so different of, like, what we do and don't do in front of each other. Like, I'm at the point where I'm shitting with the door open, love, you know what I mean?
Does he hate it? What if you have explosive diarrhea?
Oh, well, Sydney Symphony Orchestra in there. Like, let's get it on. Turn it up. I've been waiting for this one, you know? Like,
Piss off. I'm not that comfortable.
so one of the icks that he gives me is that he wears socks to bed, but I don't. I'm not a sock person in bed. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't regulate my temperature with socks on, but he can't sleep without socks on. So
it's like a security blanket
that's like a
for
big
him.
thing. Yeah, he said that. He said, like, I don't know why, but I just can't be comfortable in bed unless I have socks on. But icks that I give him, probably that I like, it's probably trivial things like leaving dishes in the sink, farting, you know, farting in bed.
You know, it took me like 5 years to fart in front of AJ.
Which is so crazy.
And now
'cause
I
I'm like,
just-
right out the get-go, you're getting full frontal.
Well, he's the first partner that I've ever farted in front of in my whole life. So that's a lot. And he has never farted in front of me still,
Wow.
but I've heard it in his sleep.
Wow.
And he denies it. And especially when he's been drinking.
That's kind of crazy that he's so considerate of you.
I know. Adele, my one thing that I do that I know pisses AJ off, and I do it every night, when I have a shower and I get out and I get into bed, my ears are full of water. Like, I can't just go like that and shake it out. So what I do, and maybe I'll have to do it on my story one night to show everyone, because it's like you've got to be able to hear it. But like, I put my finger in my ear and then I kind of flick and the water goes like, and it's super loud. And every night, like, I have to do it, otherwise the water's going to be in my ears. I'm going to get an ear infection. Every night I'm in bed and I'm flicking my ears and it makes the loudest noise, and AJ always looks at me in fucking disgust. Like, he is like it just pisses him off so bad. And he's like, why do you do that? And every time I'm like, I got to get the water out of my ears. And the thing I guess that he does that gives me the ick, I would say like the same as you said, like the way he hangs his towel is not right. Like, it's just scrunched up and thrown in the sink.
Yeah.
Like he just flop it on the bench or whatever. I'm like, AJ, like there's a hook right there. Just put the towel there.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else in particular that comes to mind.
But I'm that person. I'm the one that's leaving shit everywhere.
Like half scrunched towel just thrown over the sink in the vanity.
But I will say, I'm also busy. And so it's like all week. He's busy as well. We're both busy. So like if the house is a pigsty Monday to Friday, I'm like not even concerned about it.
As long as you get together and do a clean.
We literally do that most days on a Sunday. Like Sunday, we're like reset the whole house, clean the whole thing top to bottom. Literally yesterday I was scrubbing the stove.
Do you have a scrub daddy?
Yeah, I got a
They're
scrub
the
daddy. I reckon they're
best.
actually really, really good.
They're the best.
Yeah.
Life changing. Get yourself a scrub daddy if you don't have one.
Anyway, you have been listening to, once again, a news podcast. So thank you for listening to farts, shitting with the door open, flicking water out of your ears, and not hanging your towel up correctly. We are bringing you the news that matters here at High Scrollers. This is the end of our episode. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode, which of course is every Tuesday.
And be sure to rate us 5 stars. We say this every episode and we still don't have the same amount of stars ratings as listeners. So please,
Is that because people, I guess, are driving and like we
maybe,
obviously
yeah.
don't
Be
want them
safe
to.
on the road. Pull
But I
over.
mean, when you get to work,
Yeah,
and you
or when you
can't
see
be
a servo,
bothered.
just pull over.
Oh, you're just making people go out of their way
Yes,
to. No,
like if you're driving
no.
right now, next servo you
No.
see or side street, just quickly
No.
pull in. It'll take 2 seconds.
No one will do that. I say when you're at work and you can't be bothered doing the work, just leave us a review then. It looks like you're doing an email anyway. Speaking of emails, if you want to email us, of course, the email is in the show notes for you. Tell a friend to join the High Scrollers Club, and you can follow us everywhere else.
For me, search Brittney Saunders.
And for me, search All Right Hey. Anyway, Del, better let you go. Gotta go have a meet and greet with Chrissy Marsh. Oh my